I've lived with the material for about a month and a half, and I've thought through all the characters and the story, and I have an idea of how I want this episode to come out, because what are we doing? We're turning it into a movie. And each and every department has a role in that, and they also have to know, what am I thinking? Which way do I want to go? Because the beauty and the curse of this job is ultimately it is my decision. Yeah, we're using that one. Okay, excellent.
Done, we can create that.
Okay. Pre-production is the point at which I take the directions, the 57 pages of script, and distribute them to every single person who works on the show. We have locations, we've got wardrobe, we've got props, we've got special effects, we've got makeup, we've got hair. We have all these different departments who need to look at this script, read it very carefully, hopefully enjoy reading it, but also know that embedded in that are directions for them. That's what this is. It's preparation for shooting, because once you are shooting, you're done. So if you don't have wardrobe, if you don't have a location, if you don't have every prop you need, you're in trouble.
So, scene 1, act 1, we're interior terrain, hotel, convention center, ballroom, stage.
In a pre-production meeting, all of my departments will have read the scripts, and of course they're going to have questions. And so we break it down scene by scene by scene. What do you want in this scene? What do you want in this scene? This is what I can provide, this is what I can't provide. Or did you mean a this or a that? Because they will, of course, run into the real world of what things cost, or what's available, or what's not available, and then of course you have to shift whatever your vision is. So you can't have the helicopter rescue at the end because you can't afford it.
And we see a woman's hand come in and it'll hit the part of the proscenium there, and we'll have blood on her hand.
You can't afford to waste any time looking for something once the actors are ready to work, because that's where the money is at. That's a lot of what we have to do, is do it the most economical way we can, and not wasting time and having everything ready there and having discussed it ahead of time in the production meeting is how that's accomplished.
On this YouTube screaming match video, Dakota and the other girls were there. This was 6 months ago. The dance attire, would it be something different?
Oh, good note.
Television happens so quickly. You know, we have the pre-production meeting pretty early, as soon as the script comes out, generally, and then, you know, we get into our concept meetings, which is specific to each department. You know, our creators and producers and our writers are all available to us, you know, to discuss the intricate details for each department.
That's great. And so we'll go through every single scene, page by page, and anybody who has a question, now's the time to ask that question, because they'll have to deliver whatever I'm asking for in that script the first day we start to shoot.
What has really happened? Josh finally lets Corsac back into his heart, and here we go.
He lets him back into his heart.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
that's what it is for me.
touching.
It is for me.
Does this feel like it's taking a really long time today?
It does.
Yeah, keep going.
Scene 29.
We have 3 stages that we shoot on. We have Moira's house, we have Jane's house, we have the squad room, we have the medical examiner's office, and the autopsy room. Those are our standing sets. But every episode has its own requirements. The dance episode, obviously you're not going to dance in the medical examiner's office or in the squad room, which means we've got to find that location, which means we have to go out and scout. We have to go out in a little posse, and we have to look at various locations, and we have to find out how much they're going to be, are they geographically correct, and does it look like what is scripted? Can we bring to life what's on the page in this venue? So that's a tech scouting.
This is nuclear paradise after about 2 o'clock. After 11, you're in trouble, 11:30.
I read the script 3 or 4 times, just basically reading it over without trying to know anything other about it than just getting the story down. That way I have an idea once I start breaking the script down as to what's required from me. And then I'll go through and try and find out what's not going to be done on stage, what's not going to be done on the lot. And then I essentially start trying to go through my own memory banks of what might work for a specific location.
We needed one location that would fit 4 different needs. We needed a theater with a stage. We needed a dance studio. We needed a place that we could dress and turn into the dead woman's sister's apartment. And we needed a place where Gusano could try to get away with his daughter. That's a lot to ask of one little location.
For the sake of economy, I try and find something that looks like it would be in Boston, and then if it's a large venue, I try and find as many other places within that venue that can work as a location. So rather than having to pack everything up and move someplace, which is very expensive, we try and just push the carts to the next place. It might just be down the street, or like in the case of the location we used on this episode, we just moved to a different floor, or around the building someplace else.
All right. So let me take you guys downstairs, let you see the access way, and then take your tech time, and then we'll move next door to the other part, to the ladies' part.
It's always tricky to cast children. I want them to feel real, and we were asking a lot of a very young actress. We were asking her to play a girl who watches her mother die in front of her. That's pretty heavy stuff.
Mom! Somebody help her! Please!
We read the script, and then we have a casting concept meeting with the creative producer, and we get their vision of what they're looking for. Is it what ethnicity it is, how old, what type of person it is, a little bit of background about the character that they've written. And then our job is to bring them the possibilities.
My casting director probably looked at the resumes of 500, 600 girls. And of those 500 or 600 working actresses, he brought in maybe 75 to look at. Of those 75, I saw 20.
Mom! Oh my God, somebody help me! Mom? Mom! Somebody help me! Mom, somebody help me, please. Please, you gotta let me go.
You're my daughter, now do as I say.
Of the 20 that I saw, I think Kelly stayed with me. There was something kind of lovely about her. She felt like a 13-year-old, and I really wanted to cast someone who felt that age and who was living this very sort of normal suburban life until this happened to them.
Daddy! Please don't let him die too. Please.
The audience has to love this girl. I mean, she's put through the ringer in this episode. I mean, the poor girl watches her mother die and then watches her stepfather potentially get killed, and then learns that she has her biological father who's not treating her properly. And the audience has to like this actress, because if they don't respond to the actress by liking them, they won't follow the story in the same way.
Cut. Okay, let's go again, quick. Cut, going again right away.
Wardrobe is complicated because if you think about what people wear and what it says about them, you realize how much is communicated by what you put on your body. So each and every episode, we're going into different worlds. I want my viewer to go, I know what I'm looking at. That's a suburban mother who has a child who dances. And you want it to feel individual to that particular character. And so it's a hard job.
Kind of says who she is, a little bit of a sassy,
that's terrific.
sassy kind of girl. We take the script and go through it pretty methodically. I do an internal breakdown just for my function. Character changes, how many outfits a person needs, what's appropriate to the scene. Then, of course, we interface a lot with the production design team, the set dressers, to make sure that we're not putting the same color on someone that's, on the wall. So some things do have to be made, but for the most part, it's a lot of shopping. I have a wonderful, wonderful crew of people that help me with all of that, because if I had to hit every store in town for every character, there wouldn't be enough hours in the day.
In addition to costuming, Corsak's ex-wife, Melody, our murder victim, all of our dancers, the daughter of the murdered victim. And let's not forget our leads. We've got to find wardrobe for Jane and for Maura.
When it comes to Jane, as a designer, you want to just go all out and make her look as amazing as she can possibly look, but her character doesn't really call for that. Jane is more, do I dare say, like tomboy? I mean, she's a police detective. She does not do the girly girl thing. When you're just putting a suit and a t-shirt on her, although it works for her and it works for the character, you really just want to sometimes go all out for her, but it just doesn't call for it. Maura Isles is polar opposite of Jane Rizzoli, to the extent sometimes where showing up at a crime scene in a 6-inch pair of stiletto heels. And the most interesting thing about Sasha, who plays Maura, is that somehow she pulls that off. It doesn't look ridiculous. It doesn't look forced or fake. She just somehow, her character just does it. So it's been a lot of fun dressing her.
That's fabulous. So Billy Ray and I have meetings, and he has to dress the actual actor and take photographs of that actor, and then I have to look at it and say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. It's a lot of work, that wardrobe department.
That is a very sharp pair of scissors.
My prop master, that poor man, he has a really hard job. Because if you look through a script, a lot of that stuff falls on Jared's lap.
Fall on it, so we'll make a rubber and a plastic the same way. I've actually been working on the show since the pilot, so it makes it a little nicer, so I kind of understand. And I understand our showrunner, Janet, very well, and where she's coming from, so that helps too. So that'll be
I'm gonna go
placed.
home like this tonight. I had a very hard day.
Anything that an actor interacts with that is part of the storyline is what we provide. The prop department works along with makeup effects, wardrobe, the art department. It's a lot of collaboration.
Every episode has a murder weapon, and we have a discussion. And you want to think about, okay, what kinds of scissors would actually be in that dressing room, and what kinds of scissors could penetrate between the third and fourth intercostal? What could be used as a murder weapon?
In this situation, our actress has to be very comfortable with wearing the very heavy, very large scissors. The actress falls down with a pair of scissors in her chest. So if you can't really fall down with a pair of real metal scissors, even though they're cut, you can still get hurt. So we rubberized them, we had them molded, and also made a piece of plastic pair to give them a little more rigidity.
That's very good. All right. That's very good.
Is it props or wardrobe for her big bag with all her receipts and photos and all that stuff?
Is it a purse?
The war between departments. It falls on the county line. I don't think it's my department if it's...
The prep part of it is now your problem, production, and I will help you, and I'll tell you yes to the blue, no to the green, yes to that actor, no to that actress, but it's now your job to go off and to do what you do best, which is your piece of the script.
Thank you.
Good job.